As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not.
Do you know any other man your age, a 45-year-old man, who shares his bedroom with children?
Of course. Not for sex. No, that's wrong.
Well, let me say, from my perspective, my experience, I don't know any 45-year-old men who are not relatives of the children who share their bedroom with other children.
Well, what's wrong with sharing your bed? I didn't say I slept in the bed. Even if I did sleep in the bed, it's okay. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I would slit my wrist first. I would never do anything like that. That's not Michael Jackson, I'm sorry. That's someone else.
For most of his life, Michael Jackson has been in the spotlight, most recently because of what has been described as bizarre behavior. Bizarre behavior that has now led him to be charged with sexually molesting a 13-year-old boy. If convicted, he could spend 20 years in prison. Now out on bail and awaiting trial, tonight Michael Jackson speaks out for the first time about his arrest, his accuser, and the charges that have, for the moment, made his life a shambles. We sat down with Michael Jackson on Christmas Day at a hotel in Los Angeles, one of several cities where he has been in seclusion since authorities in Santa Barbara officially charged him with 7 counts of sexual molestation and 2 counts of using an intoxicating agent reported to be alcohol to seduce the boy. What is your response to the allegations that were brought by the district attorney in Santa Barbara that you molested this boy?
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. This is totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that.
This is a kid you knew?
Yes.
How would you characterize your relationship with this boy?
I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids. This is one of many.
Michael Jackson says his accuser is among thousands of children he's invited to his 2,600-acre Neverland Ranch in California to play in his amusement park, visit his zoo, watch movies, play video games, and feast on their favorite foods. Tell me why you developed Neverland.
Because I wanted to have a place that I could create everything that I never had as a child. So you see rides, you see animals, there's a movie theater. I was always on tour, traveling, you know, and I never got a chance to do those things. So I compensated for the loss. I have a good time. I mean, I can't go into a park. I can't go to Disneyland as myself. I can't go out and walk down the street. There's crowds and bumper-to-bumper cars, and so I create my world behind my gates. Everything that I love is behind those gates. We have elephants and giraffes and crocodiles and every kind of tigers and lions, and we have busloads of kids who don't get to see those things. They come up, sick children, and enjoy it. They enjoy it in a pure, loving, fun way. It's people with a dirty mind that think like that. I don't think that way. That's not me.
And do you think people look at you and think that way today?
If they have a sick mind, yeah. And if they believe the trash they read newspapers, yeah. And it's not, just, remember something, just because it's in print doesn't mean it's the gospel. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell. And Jackson says his relationship with this boy he first met a year ago was positive. He says he was determined to help him with his battle against cancer. So when he would come over, what would he do? What would you do? I'll tell you exactly. When I first saw him, he was totally bald-headed, white as snow from the chemotherapy, very bony, looked anorexic, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. And he was so weak, I would have to carry him from the house to the game room or push him in a wheelchair to try to give him a childhood, a life, because I felt bad because I never had that chance too as a child, you know. And so I know it felt like in that way, not being sick, but not having had a childhood. So my heart goes out to those children. I feel their pain.
Jackson says he tried to help in the healing process by taking the boy around the grounds of Neverland to Jackson's favorite places.
He had never really climbed a tree, so I had this tree that I had at Neverland. I call it my giving tree, because I like to write songs up there. I've written many songs up there. So I said, you have to climb a tree. That's part of boyhood. You just got to do it. And I helped him up. And once he went up the tree, we looked down on the branches, and it was so beautiful. It was magical. And he loved it, to give him a chance to have a life, you know, because he was told he was going to die. They told him, they told his parents, prepare for his funeral. That's how bad it was. And I put him on a program. I've helped many children doing this. I put them on a mentor program.
The boy, whose name and face we're not revealing, has credited Michael Jackson's friendship and support with helping him to battle his cancer.
Isn't that great? Not sick at all. No more cancer.
And last February, in a British documentary that was filmed before the boy alleged he was sexually molested, he said that he had stayed overnight at Jackson's home many times and had slept in his bedroom.
There was one night I stood in the yard, I asked him if I could stay in the bedroom. He let me stay in the bedroom. And I was like, Michael, you can sleep on the bed. And he was like, no, you sleep on the bed, sleep on the bed. We're like, no, you sleep on the bed. And then he finally said, okay, if you love me, you sleep on the bed. I was like, oh, man. And so I finally slept on the bed.
That comment, along with Michael Jackson's startling confession that he had shared his bed many times with children, spurred an investigation last February by the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services, which interviewed the boy and his mother to determine whether he had been sexually molested by Michael Jackson. According to an agency memo, the child denied any form of sexual abuse, and the investigation by the Sensitive Case Unit concluded the allegations of neglect and sexual abuse to be unfounded. Over the next several months, relations between the boy's family and Michael Jackson deteriorated. According to sources close to the family, the boy's mother had suspicions that Jackson was serving alcohol to her 13-year-old son, who was still suffering from cancer. Eventually, she took her suspicions to the district attorney, and that led to a full-scale investigation by his office and the Santa Barbara County Sheriff.
An arrest warrant for Mr. Jackson has been issued on multiple counts of child molestation. The bail amount on the warrant has been set at $3 million.
If Michael Jackson's watching this right now, what's your message to him?
Get over here and get checked in. We would encourage him to turn himself in and cooperate with law enforcement.
With that announcement 2 weeks ago, Michael Jackson's future and his career were in serious jeopardy.
At 12:05 today, Michael Jackson was taken into custody.
He surrendered to authorities and was booked on child molestation charges of lewd and lascivious conduct with a child. What was going through your mind when you're taken into a police station in handcuffs to have a mug shot taken that you know was going to be shown around the world?
They did it to try and belittle me, to try to take away my pride. But I went through the whole system with them, and at the end, I wanted the public to know that I was okay, even though I was hurting.
What happened when they arrested you? What did they do to you?
They were supposed to go in and just check fingerprints and do the whole thing that they do when they take somebody in. They manhandled me very roughly. My shoulder is dislocated, literally. It's hurting me very badly. I'm in pain all the time. See this arm? This is as far as I can reach it. Same with this side over here.
Because of what happened at the police station?
Yeah, at the police station. And what they did to, if you saw what they did to my arms, was very bad what they did. It was very swollen, I want to say.
But how
You'll see, you'll see.
We were given this photograph said to be taken after Michael Jackson was released on bail. Jackson says the swelling above his wrist is where the police handcuffed him. How did they do it? I mean, what did they do?
With the handcuffs, the way they tied them too tight behind my
Behind your back?
Yeah, and they put it in a certain position knowing that it's going to hurt and affect my back. Now I can't move. It keeps me from sleeping at night. I can't sleep at night.
And Jackson says there was more.
One time I asked to use the restroom, and they said, sure, it's right around the corner there. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad. Then one of the policemen came by the window and he made a sarcastic remark. He said, does it smell good enough for you in there? How do you like the smell? Is it good? And I just simply said, it's all right. It's okay. So I just sat there and waited.
For 45 minutes?
Yeah, for 45 minutes, about 45 minutes. And then one cop would come by and say, oh, you'll be out in a second. You'll be out in a second. Then there would be another 10 minutes added on, then another 15 minutes added on. They did this on purpose.
What about Jackson's allegations? Was he mistreated? Did the police injure his arm and shoulder? Did they lock him in a bathroom for 45 minutes? To get answers to those questions, we made repeated calls to both the sheriff's office and the office of the district attorney. They declined our requests for an interview, and